Maggie watches this, she'll want to cry. All right, three-dimensional calculus. Now, we've been learning how to find the area between these two curves, okay? So that would be just the integral from here to here of the top minus the bottom, okay? And so it would just simply be the integral from 0 to p of f of x minus g of x. That's how to find this area. But what now if we said, well, we're going to build squares, and this is, try to imagine this being a square straight up coming out of there straight this way, but I can't draw it straight this way to get the visual effect of squares. And another square there. And the squares keep getting small. Ooh, that doesn't look like a square. The squares keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And, you know, if they're all connected, they kind of then look like a three-dimensional object looking like that. What is the volume of that object? Okay, so this is three-dimensional calculus. So what you have to do is, since this is a square, this distance is the same as the height, right? And so we have to find the area of this square, the area of this square, the area of this square, and as we go. So all we're going to do is take this distance and square it to find a square. Okay? So from 0 to p, that distance, and square it. Okay? So that's not so bad. Okay? Now let's look at this. Now, this time, we're going to make rectangles out of this. Not just squares, but rectangles. How high are the rectangles? Well, their height is going to be 4 minus x. So we're going to have a rectangle that has a width of that, and its height is going to be 4 minus x. And its width is going to be whatever the width is. Well, what's the width? Well, you have to take the g function minus the f function. And why are we going g minus f? Because it's the top curve minus the bottom curve. Okay, the top minus bottom. So the g, 4 minus x, minus the bottom. And then I'm going to multiply that out. So that's going to be x squared minus 4x plus 4. So we're going to subtract these. Okay, so 4 minus 4 does what? Cancels. Negative x minus negative 4x is negative x plus 4x, which is 5x minus x squared. That's what you get when you take the top line minus the bottom line. Did I screw that up? Oh, it's negative x minus a negative 4x, so negative x plus 4x, which is 3x. All right, 3x. So that's the width. Your height is 4 minus x. So to find the area of your rectangle, you just take your width times your height. So it's going to be the integral of 3x minus x squared times 4 minus x. And we got to go this direction, left and right, okay, because it's perpendicular to the x-axis. So these are going this direction, perpendicular to the x-axis. So it's from the x value here to the x value here, from 0 to 3 dx. So which one is that? From 0 to 3 of this one. Okay? All right. This one now. Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. You have this and this. So we have to subtract those. Okay? So we're going to have, they're squares. So you're going to take the g of x, the 3 cosine of pi x over 8 minus 1 minus a negative 1. So it's minus 1 plus 1/4 x, basically, squared. From 0 over to 4. So it would be this one? Yes, because it's plus 1/4 x squared, and then minus 1.
How do you know where to go from?
Because if we're perpendicular to the x-axis, we're going to use the x values. If we're perpendicular to the y-axis, we're going to use the y values. So it would go from 0 to 3 if we're doing that. Okay? Oh, this one. We're perpendicular to the x-axis, so we're here. We're making squares, so it's here, here, here. So it's got to be this line minus this line. Okay? So it's going to be the integral from 3 to, wherever these meet. So we got to figure out where they meet. So the log base 2 of x has to equal 3. So how do we do this? Well, when you're dealing with logarithms, if you put them in exponential form, this to this power equals this. So 2 to the third power equals x. So what is x going to equal? 8. So this happens at 8, an x value of 8. So it's going to go from 3 to 8 of the top 3 minus the bottom log base 2 of x. From 3 to 8. From 3 to 8, 3 minus log base 2 of x, and you're squaring it because it's a square. So that's rectangles and squares. So we'll do rectangles and squares before lunch, and then after lunch, we'll do semicircles and equilateral triangles and isosceles triangles. That's the difficult ones. These are the easier ones. So there we go. I will get things assigned out to you, and then after lunch I'll teach again.